Hello, welcome back to the JOJO series. Last video we made quests and now we're going to be updating the data and other stuff. So the reason why I'm doing this is because the way I handle data is unintuitive. And because I want to add in skill trees, you like skill trees, right? So before we do that, we need to update the data so that it's more intuitive so that we can add stuff like skill trees down the line. Or next video, I mean. So first of all, this is completely messy, so I'll just make a folder for the NPCs and all the stuff like this, but it won't work because of my value manager. It'll give an error because this is not a children of the workspace. It's a descendant of the workspace. So let's go to the value manager, combat values. Here, what's this? All coding is available. What even is this? Okay, so here it's workspace get children, so we have to do get descendants. Now we check. Oops, let's do. We don't need this. Let's do if c equals humanoid, then we're going to add c.parent. So this way, every time a new descendant is added, it's going to check if it's a humanoid, because when a character is added, it doesn't add everything. It adds the model first. It adds the model first, and then the humanoid, and then the other body parts. So the humanoid doesn't get added immediately. So this way, it's good because we check if the humanoid gets added, because so then we don't have to wait for it anymore. So descendants added. Do the same here. Then do the same here, except it's removal. We don't need the quest parts any longer because we've already made changes to exclude because it's the newest thing, because blacklist is deprecated for some reason. Delete the quest parts, we don't really need this anymore, or you can just change the script or whatever. Okay, I don't need this anymore. Oh, it's c.parent. I forgot actually. Let's do C is a humanoid. There we go. I forgot. So what I'm doing here is just comparing it to a string, if it's the exact string, but it's not. It's not a string, it's an object. So it generally won't work, so that's why you have to do this. Okay. So this works now. Even though they're not in the workspace, it works perfectly fine. Now, the other thing I want to fix, not really fix, but yeah, fix, is this. This is very messy. So here, instead of putting it in different screen GUIs, I'm going to put it in one GUI, main menu. Let's put this here. Let's put this, let's delete this. Let's put this here, main menu. And to separate the GUIs, let's add in a new folder. This folder is for quests. Scrolling frame, quest completed, and then storage, and storage frame and button. Let's go here, and in the GUI handler, let's do folder to script.parent, and the screen GUI to, let's do folder.parent and dot storage. Same thing here. dot storage, and for the quest dot quest, because the screen UI back then we had different screen UI, so we just had to access different screen UIs. Now we have to access the folders, so it's this screen UI and then this folders. There we go. It's now a bit cleaner. We can do the cooldown GUI later. Let's do the cooldown GUI. So in the main menu, let's add a folder for the cooldowns. Let's find the cooldown handler. There we go. And let's do where is this? Where is the cooldown? Oh, it's that main menu dot cooldowns. There we go. That's all. Okay. Now for the black bar, let's go to the beatdown handler. And let's duplicate this. Let's set a folder. Actually, no, I'm fine with the black bar being a different screen UI. I'm fine with that. Now let's see if it all works. There's an error. What is it? Oh. It's trying to find a scrolling frame. Oh, this is for the quest. So let's do main menu dot quests. There we go. But yeah, let's see if there's the cooldowns. Cooldowns are there. Beatdown, yeah, it works. Time stop, it works. Alright, now let's get on to the data. So for the data store, I'm going to be using ProfileService. What is ProfileService? Here's ProfileService. So ProfileService is a data store, is a module that handles data store that does session locking, which prevents exploiting for duplicating with trading, because it's session locked. So when your data is loaded in another server, it cannot be loaded in a different server. Okay, that's the cause for items being duplicated. Data getting loaded before it getting saved. That's the problem. So in here, it session locks. So therefore, when there is already a session, it kicks you when it tries to join a different server. The data store profile, when you can access profiles and stuff instead of using get async to get a person's data, and they can just modify the profile and it will automatically save the data. So you don't have to handle the data saving. You can just let ProfileService do all the work. You just have to add in the template, the default data. So is a set of data which is meant to be loaded up only once inside a Roblox server and then written to and read from locally on that server. No delays, whilst being periodically auto-saved. So you don't have to handle saving, and it's just easy to learn everything. Yeah. Okay, now let's go to the tutorial. Basic usage. There we go. What's this? No, we don't need this. Okay, so here, first you need to get the ProfileService module. So just ProfileService. It's made by lol Eris. Okay, keep that in mind. Don't get the wrong ProfileService. So let's put it inside of the service storage modules, ProfileService. There we go. And then we go to stand data store. Here, let's just copy this and paste it here. Okay. Get profile store So this is the data store, get data store. So let's do stand data store. Let's do the same. I think it will pass on the previous data. So let's copy this and paste it here. Stand data store. The profile template. Our profile template would be here. This is our profile template. Stand, the default stand would be nothing. Spec would be nothing. Let's do nil. Just nothing like this. Same for here. Same here and here. Let's also remove this because this looks ugly. There we go. And we don't need this. We don't need this. So when the player is added, we add the user, yeah, whatever. And if it's successfully loaded, yeah, we don't need this. So when the player leaves, let's do release. So release is used when the player leaves. Okay, it releases the session, and the player can load in again. Okay. In case players have joined the server earlier than the script ran, so we loop through the existing player and see if they have their data or not. Okay. And for the profile table here, so here for the in the profile table, when you want to change a player's data, so let's do profiles, go to the player and you go data and then dot stand equals whatever, and then it'll automatically save, it'll do the auto save and stuff. So when you want to change a value, when you want to change the data, you can just change the table. It's very intuitive. So now we don't need all this. We really don't need all of this now. There we go. Now what we need to change from this is we need to change the profiles, because we want to access it in different scripts. If we want to access the player's data in different scripts for, let's say, skill trees, let's add in a module in the value manager, and let's name this to profiles. Here, hold on, let's just do profiles. There we go. Here, instead of it being a table, let's just do require game.serverstorage.valuemanager.profiles. There we go. So when to access the profiles, we'll do this. Very simple stuff. Okay, now how do we access this from the client, you might say, because here enjoy handlers in storage button handler, it sets the storage to the stand, right, by getting the attribute. So here let's create a module for the client, for the profile in the client. So let's add in a module, profiles, client profile, because in the profiles module we'll hold every player, but in the client profile we'll just hold our own client because it's easier that way. And let's just put it in the starter player scripts. Okay, it's more convenient that way. So let's add in a script, a local script. This script would be update client profile. There we go. Let's add in a new remote event. We'll change this later, by the way. So remote event, update profile. So the default profile is empty, but we want to change it every time the profile data is updated, right? Not every time, but whenever we need it to be updated. So here, let's get the promote event equals game dot replica storage, wait for child, update profile. Here in the update client profile as well, let's do and also load the module client profile. So remote.onClient event. Let's create an unclient event and let's add parameter for data, and we'll do client profile dot data equals data. There we go. We won't do a profile and change the profile to profile because that can lead to a lot of issues, but since we only need data, so let's just do data equals data. There we go. Because there's other things other than data, but we don't really need that. Let's close this and let's do, so whenever we want to update the profile, let's do update profile. We'll do update profile and the data, fire client, the player, and the data, which is profile dot data. And here, instead of waiting, let's require the module. So client profile equals player dot player equals require player dot player scripts dot client profile. We have all the data in here, right? So let's do this. Let's load his first, load this first, then the remote and stuff. Then instead of waiting 2 seconds, because it can take longer than that, and if it does take longer for the server to update the profile, it'll mess up. So let's just wait, repeat task.wait until next client profile isn't nil. So what is next? Next, it finds the first value of the table and check the value. So yeah, we're going to be checking if the value is nil. If it isn't, then we'll continue with the script. If it is nil, it'll keep waiting. Now we can just do the text to client profile dot data and slot incremented with I. There we go. So whenever the button is activated, it uses remote invoke server, right? So here in storage handler, let's require the profile as well. Profiles is require game.server-storage.valuemanager.profiles. Let's do local player profile equals profiles player. Let's just do profile without the S. Yeah, that's more intuitive. And the stand, let's do profile.data.stand. The slot profile.data, and here slot incremented with I, incremented with slot. Yeah, basically the same, but we use the table. And we require, yeah, whatever. So if the player has a stand, then it's going to call the stand. If it doesn't, then yeah, it'll just unsummon. That's pretty much it. Okay, so here let's do profile dot stand dot data dot stand equals saved stand, and let's do profile.data dot slot, increment it with slot equals current stat. Pretty intuitive. And let's do, and instead of returning, might as well just set the remote to update profile, and remote dot on server event, so that we can update the profile for the client table, so that we can access it in different scripts. Here, the player and the slot, and update profile, change it to update profile. Update profile, fire client, the player, and the profile.data. There we go. Now we can check in here, storage button handler. Let's add local update profile equals game.update storage, wait for child, update profile, update profile dot on client event, connect function, and the data, the profile data. Yeah, the data. Here, instead of making it a remote function, we'll just do remote event. Here, storage remote. There we go. Now we'll just do fire server, remote fire server I. It fires the slot. Now when we receive the data, let's do the same thing here. Here, instead of changing, we're not going to change the color. We can do this, and instead of doing client profile data, let's do data, the received data. So it just loops through the storage and updates it. Yeah. And then there's another thing about the profile service. There's another slight quirk. The quirk is, hold on, let me go to skill handler. The quirk is the stand. Okay, let's get the profile service first. Not the profile server, the profiles game.service.storage.modules, no, .value manager .profiles, local profile equals profiles player. There we go. Profile.data.stand. No, it's right. Here is profile.data.stand, profile.data.spec. The quirk is whenever a data is empty, it's going to be an empty string instead of nil. So even though my default value is empty string, even if it's not, it'll still be an empty string instead of nil. So if stand isn't an empty string, like that, we'll do the same here. If stand isn't empty string, if player spec isn't empty string, right? Oh, not the stand, the player stand, not empty string. Here, player stand, not empty string. There we go. And for the arrows, for the stand arrows, let's do the same for the stand arrows. Let's update the stand arrows. Items. Profiles. Let's get the player. Get player from character. character. Let's put this here. Let's do profile equals profiles player here. Oh, I forgot about that. He has to profile the data to stand. Instead of that attribute, do profile the data dot stand equals random stand. And its stand isn't empty string. Okay, let's copy this and paste it in the row caca fruit. Do this. Player dot profile the data dot stand. If not player stand, so let's do if player stand equals empty string, then it's going to return end. Yeah, here. Okay, let's do profile the data dot stand equals null. There we go. I think this should work unless I'm tweaking. Let's copy this and paste it in the backpack just in case I don't have a stand, just in case the data isn't sent over. Profile service is required in server script service. It should be in server storage and modules. There we go. Then let's do local remote equals game dot apply storage, wait for a child, and data storage remote. There we go. It should be all working fine. I hope so. Let's do stand storage. Okay, let's get stand arrow. It's working fine. That's there, it works great. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. The data is working perfectly fine. It's going to be saved. Okay, let's click Sushi Master. And the data should be working fine. And now we can just play around with the data all we want in the server or in the client, because it is well managed and we don't have to use attributes for everything, and yeah, it works. So this is it for this video, guys. Next video we'll be doing skill trees. I've been planning skill trees for a while now, and yeah, thank you for watching.